It's impossible to buy a home right now. Is a hype worth questioning?
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are excited to welcome you to episode 733 of Life's Inside Track. And I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And it's where we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, tactics, and truths that we all need, we all deserve. You, I, everyone, so we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, and we build wealth wisely through real estate.
Yes. That's why we're here.
That's why we're always here every single Friday. Every single Friday. So we know by watching the headlines, by talking to clients, that there is so much hype, so much, I'm going to say it's even created a paralysis that people cannot buy now in this time in history. That is impossible. And there's more and more promotion and saying, don't buy now. It's scary. It's not going to work. You're going to lose everything. Like there's just a lot.
Yeah. And I think it's under the guise of affordability. It says it's not affordable to own a home anymore. Well, it is. And there's lots of people doing it. And I think it's, first of all, we got to look at the mindset that says, I cannot buy or I will not be able to buy. Because there's a huge percentage of young people in their 20s now that are saying, no, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to buy. It's just out of reach. They can't fathom it. And because of that, they make choices, daily choices that actually sabotage them from ever being able to. We were just talking about that before the show started. There's a great program, the First Home Buyers Program, right? Which you've got $8,000 of contribution room. And young people say, well, I don't have $8,000, so I'm not going to go do that. And it's like, no, just go register, open it, because the contribution room starts to accumulate as soon as you register. You have to make an appointment with your bank and sign up for the program. It's a registered program, so you have to bring your ID and all that good stuff, your social insurance number probably, and register for it, because you don't know, and I don't know what the future holds. Maybe you are going to get a promotion in the future. Maybe you're getting a great job. Maybe you're going to meet someone special and they have good income, and the two of you with good income are going to go do something great. So it's a fixed mindset that is coming from the media and the hype. And some of it comes from Toronto. Toronto's a much harder market to break into than Ottawa is, right? So we see the headlines. Affordability is not there. Young people can't buy. Average age of a home buyer has gone way up.
Well, it's almost 40 years old now,
first-time home buyer.
First-time home buyer. So there is truth that we're now responding to it as a culture and as a group of people. We're responding to the hype, and yet we're watching many people still buy homes. So is it impossible? Is it the wrong time? Well, here's what we've been saying we've been doing this for 15, 16 years now on this show on Life's Inside Track. We've been talking about the fact that if you believe you can't, you won't. And as you follow the hype in the marketplace, you'll make different choices, which means you can't. So it's almost like the realism of and it is harder than it used to be. So the realism that it's harder than it used to be is becoming discouragement rather than we still have the possibility to do it. Because we know that in 2025, we're just in the beginning of 2026, we're into February now, first week of February, that there were more home buyers in resale property in the Ottawa market and area in 2025 than there was in 2024. It was up about 1.5% in terms of the number of buyers. So it's not decreasing, it's increasing.
So, yeah. So although it seems to be getting more difficult,
it is
according to the hype.
Right.
Okay. Interest rates have come down over the last year. We may see a slight increase in 2026, but we're not talking much, if anything. They used to think it would go down a little more in 2026. Now the economists are saying, no, probably hold or maybe go up slightly. And that discouragement, when you read the media and you stay on the social media and the different platforms that are telling you doom and gloom, because that sells papers, right? In the old way of saying, we don't sell papers anymore, but that sells the news,
there's a few.
Sells the advertisement, the headlines. And yet saying, oh, you can do it is not a headline that sells.
No, it isn't.
So we believe that discouragement often wears the mask of realism. You think it's real. And yet we've had many clients in the last year that have bought their first home or moved up to a bigger home, and they didn't buy into the hype of it's impossible to get into real estate right now.
Yeah, because the reality of it is, unless you're staying at home with mom and dad, or unless you're staying with somebody, or there's 4 or 5 of you renting a place, then yes, your costs are lower. And there is certainly some people choosing to do that for longer than there used to be. And yet most people are moving out of mom and dad's house, or moving out of being with a whole bunch of roommates. And so they're renting somewhere. Mm-hmm. And if you're renting somewhere, don't be deluded. This is the thing we've been saying for 16 years. Don't be deluded that you're not paying for a mortgage. Mm-hmm. Because you are. It just doesn't happen to be your own mortgage. It's somebody else's. Mm-hmm. And rents have continued to go up. Right? And then, we'll do another show next month in March. We're going to talk about the whole myth or the whole hype around you should rent. It's better to rent than buy. So that's coming later. I don't want to move too deep into that. Bottom line is you are paying a mortgage either way if you're living on your own.
Yeah. And I think the buyers that were able to buy, they were asking forward questions like, what's it going to look like in the future? What am I able to save today? What am I able to, remember the little marshmallow video you did with me? If I could have 2 if I waited, and I only have 1 if I could eat it now. We're in a eat it now kind of culture where the media is posting the MasterCard things saying, oh, I built my credit. I was able to get this that people thought I wouldn't be able to afford it. And yeah, but that interest you're paying is robbing from your future, and it's robbing from the ability to buy a home.
Well, you really couldn't afford it. So somebody gave you credit, so therefore you could have it, and you actually couldn't afford it.
Well, you couldn't afford to pay cash for sure.
Well, that's at 40. So that's a whole nother show, and you want to go back and listen to some of the others we've done. Just because you can make the payment doesn't equal affordability when it comes to consumerism on things that go down in value.
So if you are one of the people that we hear that says, I'm going to wait till things calm down. Well, guess what? This is the calm. We are calmed down. The real estate market is calmed down. We've had a slight increase in 2025. We're looking at a bit of an increase in 2026. And this is the time for you to call us and get some real options.
Get clarity call. Mm-hmm. Just go to dekkerteam.com and we will certainly spend a few minutes with you to clarify whether it is truth that you can't, or whether it's just you've bought into the hype.
Mm-hmm. And as Henry Ford says, right, or used to say, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And we're glad that you're spending time with us, because building wealth wisely is about much more than just the money.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together.